Hi, Monica. Pleasure to see you today, this afternoon.
Likewise, pleasure to meet you and see you again.
And you're in Rome. Because actually, you've based
Yes.
there. Yeah. And how's lockdown and the whole crisis period been for you in Rome?
Well, it has been a very interesting experience. Personally, to me, it has been a very positive experience. Thankfully, myself and my family are all safe, and we've been safe the whole time in lockdown. Definitely had time to reflect, as I think most of us, on life in general, on business, on life mission. And I think what we have experienced is that a lot of companies have experienced a shakeup, right? And the buzzword, which is rightfully a buzzword, has become to pivot, to adapt to the new normal, as we say. And as here, for example, hospitality in general in Italy has been shaken up very greatly, because in Italy, tourism industry takes up 13.3% even of GDP. Globally, it's 10% in Italy. So Italy is relying on tourism a lot. As I've heard even now that everything has come back to kind of normal, or let's say the new normal, that hotels in Rome, in city center Rome, have not yet opened up. And the reason why, because a lot of them have always been very reliant to non-European markets, let's say US market dependent or Asian market dependence. And now what we are seeing, the tendency is that everyone is traveling locally. So the holidays are happening locally. And that means that probably July and August in Rome, tourism is not going to be great because of these are the two extremely hot months, and if people are traveling, people are probably traveling to the seaside or to the mountains, and Rome will pretty much be deserted, which is not good news. And that is why a lot of hotels have decided not to open up.
I do understand it's very similar in the UK. The move seems to be to local, into the countryside, and the cities, I think, is going to be the hardest battle to reopen up. So yeah, I understand that. Now, you've taken a very brave move at this time to set up your own business as well, haven't you?
Absolutely. Myself, I decided as well to pivot, and I have been working in tourism industry for about 20 years now. So, and I've worked on both sides, on hotel side, on OTA side, on B2B SaaS model as well. So with the tech companies, always in the same industry. And I decided to take use of all this accumulated knowledge and start my consulting / coaching business, and help. Instead of helping full-time one company, I can now open up and help more companies at one time, which is extremely exciting and scary at the same time.
Oh, it's one of those very exciting periods of life, isn't it? And you're focusing on business right, not just across Europe, but also Middle East as well. Is that right? And Africa as well?
Absolutely. I'm open to working with any hotel, any industry, or any company that needs my help, and that is scaling up their business. My profile is very much commercial, so if they need help with sales structure, because we know that sales will not be the same now, and outbound sales is extremely important now than ever. So I can definitely help with that, with the structure, with the pipeline, with some training, sales training. So that is where I decided to help businesses.
Well, we wish you the best of luck on that. Now,
Thank you very much.
in terms of lockdown period, you've obviously reflected, you've obviously pivoted. What else? How else has it impacted on you?
Well, I definitely had more time to invest into my own personal development as well. And I think a lot of people took that advantage as well, reading more, attending different courses. And I have noticed that a lot of companies in the travel industry have reinvented themselves. And you can see from some companies even managed to take on investments, like, for example, Zonder. If you know Zonder, they have just taken an additional 180 mil investment, which will scale their business. Again, it's an alternative accommodation, which is going strong. HRS, for example, they have started their clean and safe protocol to help hotels reopen, where hotels get kind of a badge that they are following that protocol, that they are safe to welcome back the tourists. So I think technology will be extremely important now in tourism industry, especially hotel industry, and companies like Cloud Beds and Muse Systems will be a huge help, not only to kind of I wouldn't say eliminate some jobs, but make them more efficient, and technology will be definitely will play an important part in the next decade. We'll see a lot of positive change.
Oh, that's very fair. And how long do you see the recovery process taking, particularly in Italy?
It's very hard to predict. The experts say that we will definitely recover locally first and internationally next, but no one is certain of anything right now. Hopefully in the next year, we hope that travel industry recovers, especially here in Italy, where the dependency on travel industry is so big.
No, I have to say, look, I'm a great lover of Italy, so I can't wait to come back. So I'm sure many people share that as well. And now I know one of your other passions is mentoring, particularly of women as well.
Yeah.
What? So yes. Why is it such a passion, and what do you hope to achieve through it?
You know, in my previous job positions, I always had a team that I looked after, and it kind of came naturally. My team and some team members encouraged me, saying, "You're such a great mentor, and you've been such a great mentor to me. Why don't you do that professionally?" And I think I always say, joking, obviously, that if I wasn't scared of blood, I would be a doctor or nurse, just helping people. So helping people is something that comes naturally to me, and mentorship and coaching kind of goes into that direction as well.
That seems fair enough. And in terms of where you want to see yourself in a few years' time, what do you want for you and your business?
You know, this quarantine made me think of a lot of things. And first of all, I want to obviously be professionally successful, but also focusing on really what drives me, what that I can make a difference in other people's lives. And, you know, businesses are all made of people. So if I can, you know, help executives or people aspiring to become leaders, if I can help one person, that is already a great thing. So as many people I can help, that is my mission. Helping people, I will help their businesses grow, and that will definitely make me happy.
That's very good. Now let's talk a bit about you, Monika, because a lot of the people listening won't actually know you. You grew up in Rome, I think. Is that correct? Rome is your hometown.
No, actually, I am actually Lithuanian.
Are you?
Yes, I am. I come from a place called Klaipėda. It's by the Baltic Sea. And I left Lithuania when I was 19, And so far, I've lived in 6 different countries, including US, UK, Italy, Netherlands was my where I lived for 5.5 years. So I'm kind of I wouldn't call myself a gypsy, but professional gypsy, traveling where work takes me, really. And I've always had this dream to travel the world, and this is one of the ways to do it. And it's amazing how much you can learn um, culturally, and how people do business differently in different parts of the world. And that has always fascinated me, and obviously learning the languages, which comes quite easily for me. So if you have a possibility, whoever is listening, to do that, follow your dreams, and life is too short not to.
Oh, that's very good. And which role has been the biggest influence in your career, or had the most?
You know, I would say my experience in the US. I was working with a hotel company. It's called the Hardage Hotel chain. And I was there on a career training. I was there for a couple of years. And it struck me how different sales is done in the United States, even when I'm thinking about hotels, right? When we think about sales in hotels, in US versus Europe. In the US is much more aggressive, but aggressive in a positive way, not in a negative way, much more proactive. And I think when I think about hotels in Europe, I think adopting that American approach would help them quite a lot these days. Because as we said, nothing will be the same after this. I wouldn't say crisis, after this huge pivot. So I think, yes, adopting an American approach in sales would definitely help hotels to recover.
That's a really interesting comment. I mean, it's a really interesting one, isn't it? Because I reckon I talk 2 or 3 times a day about whether life will go back to normal again. And actually, I reckon 50% of people believe that we will back to normal again. It will we just all adapt back. I'm very cynical about that. I think things have probably changed now won't ever go back as they were, but things will continue to evolve in a different way. Your thoughts?
Well, people are we are very much driven by habit. So once we create that habit, that is our normal, right? So now we are already creating new habits that will become the new normal, which we won't see as the new normal anymore. And I think that is the change. That I don't think it will be the same. I think we will just create new habits that we will adopt into our daily lives.
It's going to be an interesting one, isn't it? And in terms of hotels, what do you think is going to attract, particularly in city centres, which I think is the problem area, what's going to attract customers back?
Experience. I think now hotels will definitely have to sell more of an experience than just they have been already, but I think they have to differentiate even more and embrace the technology that will allow them to sell different experiences, to offer something more than a dining experience or an overnight experience. And there are a lot of just a couple of weeks ago, I was part of a travel hackathon, travel scrum hackathon, and about 50 teams participated there, and each team created a new piece of technology to help travel industry recover. And there were so many interesting and innovative ideas that I think some of them will definitely see the light, and we'll see hotels and industry adopting them. And some of them we're part of those experiences that hotels can actually offer to their customers. So because customers it will not get easier, it will get harder, because customers will now be more needy, right? Not only they will want a clean hotel, a safe hotel, but they will want something else. more experiences, and I think city centers definitely will have to reinvent and be very strong about how to offer more and more to their customers.
I mean, it's an interesting, again, the whole interesting challenge, isn't it? Because the industry as a whole hasn't been, shall we say, a market leader in technology. But everyone is talking about how AI is going to be the way through this and out the other end. I mean, we've got to catch up at quite a speed, haven't we?
Absolutely. And there are countries that will have to do a major catch up that historically have been kind of hesitant about technology. And some if you think about Nordics, they are embracing technology faster than other countries like Italy, for example. So there's definitely room for improvement, and I think technology will bring that improvement.
That's very good. Monika, look, thank you for today. It's been lovely chatting to you in Rome. I'm very jealous because we're cold. We're cold here, and you look lovely and warm over there.
Please come here.
Oh, I would love to. So actually, final question. So why did you settle in Rome? You've obviously been traveling the world. So why Rome?
Yeah. Yes. So I spent 10 years in Rome, from my 20s to my 30s.
Okay,
and you know, your 20s are always that happy time, your studies, and I have these fuzzy feelings about Rome, and I always wanted to come back. So here I am, and I couldn't be happier.
Oh, well, it's a beautiful city, so I wish you well. Enjoy it. And I look forward to catching up with you.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been an honor and pleasure to be your host.
Well, thank you. And I look forward to seeing you do well in your business. I hope it goes well.
Thank you so much.